Am I muted?
Yeah, you've been muted this whole time.
Oh, I've been muted.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, I don't know why. Okay. Well, welcome, guys. Welcome to Not So Bro Football Talk. Now we're talking about Baker Mayfield. Finally, Baker Mayfield. He gets traded to the Carolina Panthers. What a steal. Okay, they are paying this guy $5 million to start for their team. The Cleveland Browns ended up eating 10.5 mil of his contract. Baker Mayfield decided to take a 3.5 mil cut from what he is owed just to leave Cleveland just because of how pissed off he was. So now he's finally with Carolina playing for 5 mil. That's a steal for Carolina. 5 mil, 1 year, or just to finish out his contract. Is it a huge improvement from Sam Darnold? A lot of people may think yes. So I'm guessing from y'all's perspective, you don't think it's going to be a matchup, right? Sam Darnold against Baker Mayfield to outplay one another. Mayfield starting from week 1.
I personally don't think so. Sorry, Reed. I'm gonna go first today. No, I just think that Baker Mayfield is more talented. Nothing to bash on Sam Darnold because he's done quite well in the NFL so far, but he doesn't have that it factor like Baker Mayfield does. That's the reason last year Reed thought that Baker Mayfield was going to go 40-8. I kind of believed him a little bit just because I think Baker's good enough to do that, but he just didn't have the right team and the right offense to go ahead and accomplish that. Hopefully here with the Panthers, he's able to, especially with Christian McCaffrey, and hopefully he's not injured for over half the season.
I think there definitely will be a quarterback competition. I think Mayfield will win as long as he doesn't stink in the preseason. But I think there'll be a competition, and we'll see what happens. But I think Mayfield's got the edge on this. They obviously don't feel confident with Sam Darnold, or else they would never have made this trade. They don't want to. They would prefer not to have a quarterback competition. It's never good, in my opinion, for the team. But I think that Baker's got this in the bag.
But Reed, didn't the head coach? No, it was Ben McAdoo. Didn't Ben McAdoo say early in the preseason, "Oh, Sam Darnold's our guy. He's a starter, 100%." Wasn't that said?
Yes, and he immediately realized he was an idiot. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, Sam Darnold wasn't that guy. So for all you guys out there telling us that Sam Darnold was going to start week 1, how do you feel now? Seahawks had a chance. Yes, Seahawks did have a chance to getting Baker Mayfield. Welcome back, Israel. It's been a while since we've seen you, man. Appreciate you being here live on the podcast. But yeah, Seahawks had a chance. So some of the biggest losers that they put on this trade was 1, the Cleveland Browns. That's 100% a loser. 2, the Seattle Seahawks, because they missed out a chance. Now, how you view it, it could be different, but they marked them as a loser. And 3, Jimmy Garoppolo, because that's just one more QB position that's been taken away from him. But yeah, now he's finally off the field. Sam Darnold, clear cut second string, maybe, just maybe. But Baker Mayfield, how good can he transition from a Browns organization to the Panthers organization and that workforce? You're coming from a great running back. Now you're going for one of the best running backs in the league, but health wise, he needs to stay healthy in order for them to have success there. Then you also have a very talented wide receiver named of DJ Moore. That guy's awesome, man. You just got to get him the ball, which I know Baker did struggle with some receivers over there in Cleveland. I'm talking about Jarvis Landry. I'm talking about OBJ. That's why OBJ left, because of all that commotion. Jarvis Landry, he wanted out of there. It doesn't matter what. I think it was the organization itself. But now Baker Mayfield is in a somewhat friendly situation. I say friendly situation because of the division. The division, I don't think it's a clear cut winner. You might say there is in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but I'm not totally convinced just yet. Now that Baker Mayfield's there, he's totally going to cause havoc and he will make a huge difference for that organization.
Yeah, I definitely. I'm a little bit more hesitant than you AJ to say that Sam Darnold's the second string guy. His caps hit is 18 million next year. I think if they see early on that Baker is their guy, I think they're going to try to, if they can, to trade him. They can't cut him because that's all just in dead money, so it won't do them any good. But I would definitely see them trying to move to him. Now, yeah, you'll say no one wants a quarterback right now, but there's a pretty good chance that early on in the season there will be a quarterback injury. One of these quarterbacks has to get injured. So I definitely see that they potentially try to move Sam Darnold just because of his cap space, unless Baker is not playing well in the beginning of the season, which can happen. Yeah, I just don't want to say 100% he's going to be the second string guy. I think they might try to move him. You don't want 18 million on your bench.
I like how you brought that up, Reed. Now, this is a very unique situation. Hardly ever do you go to do you view a team and see a guy who's getting paid 5 mil compared to a guy who's paying 18 mil, and the guy who's getting paid 18 mil is the backup.
Mm-hmm.
That is not normal here in the NFL. The Panthers were, I guess, they were desperate last year. They needed a young quarterback to be the franchise QB of that organization. Didn't pan out for Sam Darnold. Unfortunately, I'm still rooting for the guy. He has one more year to make it up, and this is his year. Whether it be the second string, whether he be traded, he has to prove something in the NFL in order to continue to have a job there, because that's just not going to pan out.
I'm looking right here at stats, and sometimes it's not all about stats. It's all about the team and who's around them. But right now, Baker looks like the clear-cut starter, only because of stats-wise. He's started 59 out of 60 games, so he's been in the league for at least 4 to 5 seasons, if I'm correct. Mayfield has thrown for over 3,000 yards each year that he's been in the league as a starter, and he's thrown for 23 touchdowns each season. The only thing is he is not good about his touchdown-to-pick ratio, but Sam Darnold's even worse because he's averaged about, I want to say maybe 14 touchdowns a season and about 13 picks in a season as well. So it's pretty even there. And he's only once eclipsed 3,000 yards. Every other one is below 2,800, 2,500, 2,200. So they've been in the league quite around the same time. And don't get me wrong, Sam Darnold has been on some teams that are pretty horrible, but you can't knock on Baker because Baker was on the Browns, and everybody knows the Browns' history.
Yep.
Yeah. Very bad.
The Panthers were just like last in everything as far as passing goes. They were 28th in passing, and 29th in passing yards, and then also the quarterback was sacked 3 times a game, coming in at 28th. This passing offense is not very good. So Baker does have a huge challenge coming in to try to turn this thing around. But I just don't think if you're the Panthers organization that you can think that Sam Darnold is the guy that can turn this thing around. I just don't see them thinking that.
Yeah, it is hard to see, but there is one thing I do want to bring up. Not a lot of people are talking about this. It is out there, but not only does Baker Mayfield have to find that connection with his teammates, but he also has to find that connection with his offensive coordinator Ben McAdoo. When Ben McAdoo, before he was with the Panthers, he was with the New York Giants, and the notes that he took on Baker, because they were getting a QB at the time, they didn't look that great. He was very critical on Baker, saying how he doesn't look NFL ready. He has small hands. He doesn't look very athletic. Yes, he's very confident, but he still has some growing to do. He just was not on that Baker Mayfield train. Now that it's come to this, where the organization has brought Baker Mayfield into that organization, can they coexist? Can they get together? Can they find a common ground in order for them to save Ben McAdoo's job, in order for them to save the organization, to have a chance in the playoffs? Is that possible with the offensive coordinator and Baker Mayfield?
Well, I think it really depends on who's starting at quarterback. We are saying, let's see, Chantal said CMC's health will be key. I agree with that. I'm about to bring that up just right now. So she brought it up perfectly. And PI podcast says, hey, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? Stick around and see what we think about the Panthers right now. But when it comes to McAdoo and whoever's going to start at quarterback, it's whoever's going to run his scheme the best. I've been doing a little bit of research right now while you were talking a little bit, and McAdoo's offense really, really hits with the three-step type of play action. So he only takes 3 steps. It's quick. It's out. It's to whatever receiver's open. It's the first check down, second check down, everything like that. But he doesn't prefer anything to go deep pretty often. So like 5 to 7 step drops are not his thing for his quarterbacks. It's not what they build their offense around. So yes, I do agree with Mrs. Alvarado.
Mister.
CMC.
Mister.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Come on, man.
I forget they share.
That's my dad.
Sorry, Mondo. Don't hate me. Yeah, it just depends on CMC's health. If he's healthy, the 3-step drops are going to be perfect for whoever's starting. The only thing that I think Baker Mayfield brings to the table is he's better with throwing some long bombs. He takes risks. I think Sam Darnold thinks a little bit too much, so it's not going to work out if they do need to go long. If they're in a situation late game, they can't really always rely on CMC to make the big play because everybody's going to be keying in on him if he's healthy.
Okay, guys, I want to start a fight here. I want to start a little riot. As we all know, the season's coming, and there's a lot of great Week 1 matchups. Now, I don't think there's a greater matchup than this Week 1. I'm talking about the Cleveland Browns going and facing the Carolina Panthers Week 1. Okay, right off the bat, who do you all have winning there?
I don't know, man.
Really? It's taking this long? Are y'all?
I was going to let Vincent go first.
I stared it a lot, Mr. Mondo, a lot.
Go ahead, Reed. What do you got to say?
I wanted Vincent to go first because I missed the question because I was looking.
Oh, God. Okay, I'll answer for him. I'll save him this time. So I wouldn't mind the Panthers winning, but I think they still need to figure out a lot of things, and we don't know if CMC is going to be fully healthy for Week 1, so we don't know how much they're going to utilize him. So I think Nick Chubb and whoever's there at the starting quarterback position they're going to win. I think the Browns take it. It's going to be a hard-fought game, don't get me wrong. I might just tune into it in case the Broncos are romping on us in Week 1. But it just depends on the time that we play and they play. So in my opinion, I think the Browns win, but very narrowly. And it's going to be a smash-mouth game, especially if Deshaun Watson, which is most likely going to be suspended.
I disagree with Vince. I definitely do not think the Browns will be able to win this game. Panthers have home field advantage, so the advantage goes there. The Browns won't have their starting quarterback in Watson for sure. I don't believe there's no way he doesn't get at least 1 game suspension. And then Browns are going to be trying to figure it out. Brissett, I don't think it's going to work out very well. And if Baker starts, he's got something to prove, and he's going to play well, in my opinion.
Okay. I like how you guys are opposite. Okay. I do think that Panthers are making a huge improvement having Baker Mayfield as the starting quarterback now, especially with DJ Moore there and having Iquanu drafted him for that O line, especially going to reinforce that. That is huge. CMC has to stay healthy. Huge game changer. I think at the end of the day, the Cleveland Browns with Deshaun Watson or not, I think they are a more talented team. Now, are they playing with heart? I don't think so, but this is week 1. Okay, this is week 1, and I think Baker is going to get his own way. He's going to have too much in his mind. It's going to be very clouded. He needs to get over that. And knowing Baker, he is a very prideful person. He's thinking about this game right now. He's been thinking about this game ever since Deshaun Watson was in talks with the Cleveland Browns. He wants payback. He wants it now. Y'all watch Star Wars before?
A little bit.
Y'all seen Star Wars? When your mind is clouded full of hate, you make some wrong decisions. Okay, right now, the Cleveland Browns, they have the high ground. Don't do it, Baker. Play your game. Don't do it. We know you're in a good situation now. We know you are a better quarterback than Jacoby Brissett, but play your game, stay calm, and have a successful season to make the playoffs. That is not your Super Bowl. That's really all I got to say. I think the Cleveland Browns are going to take it just because I do believe Baker will try to make that jump. Ain't going to happen. But yeah, so that's week 1. It's probably one of the most interesting games out there. I know there's a lot of great week 1 matchups, like you said earlier, Vince. We got the Seattle Seahawks going against the Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson's going back to Seattle.
I think the Packers also have a great matchup. I think Reed said they're better matchups week 2, but yeah, I believe they also have.
We play the Vikings week 1.
Oh, nice.
The battle of the running backs. Who's going to be better, Reed?
We got 2 good ones, so.
But is Dalvin Cook better?
No.
I'm just kidding. Let's move on.
We got a comment from PI Podcast saying Baker has weapons around him, and if CMC stays healthy, he has a lot of different options. And with that, 3-step okay action is it might work in Baker's favor, and they have a defense supporting him too. We did talk about a little bit about their offense. They do have DJ Moore. They also have a guy that does not want to play with Baker named Robbie Anderson.
Man.
I had to bring it up. How we're going to talk about Baker and not bring up how Robbie Anderson does not want to play with him, who might retire early.
You already clarified it, AJ.
What did he say?
He was just supporting his quarterback at the time. He said, stop running that narrative. He's going to work fine with Baker. Come on, man.
Did you watch the video, though? Or did you just
I watched the original video. Or are you talking about the new interview?
The new interview. How did his body language look?
He looked annoyed by this situation that they're trying to say that he hates Baker.
I think he's annoyed that he's getting Baker, not about the situation. I do think his intentions are pure because we did talk about this. If you do want to defend your quarterback, you could go a totally different route of saying it instead of bashing on one dude. Okay, it kind of reminded me of the U.S. Open tennis bashing on Drew Lock with the Seattle Seahawks. That was just uncalled for. Israel says DJ can't do it all. You're very right there. DJ Moore cannot do it all, and his talent has been hidden behind everything else just because he's been taking the whole workload. He's been going through a quarterback carousel, through a head coach carousel. He needs someone who's stable. And I do think Baker Mayfield is that guy. Now, as far as his QB rating, can he do it with a good supporting cast? He needs support from Robbie Anderson. He needs DJ Moore's full support, and he needs CMC to stay healthy. But most importantly, he needs that O-line to give him time. They're going to have to switch up their whole offensive playbook. It's going to be a quick passing offense if CMC stays healthy because they're going to have that option to escape with that run game. It's going to be very huge for them, very crucial. I honestly can't wait to see it.
No, yeah, man, I agree. I remember we were just driving back from our little vacation. And I was telling you how great DJ Moore is, even with a not so good quarterback, even with Sam Darnold, the QB position last year. I believe DJ Moore, if I'm not mistaken, the past 5 seasons has had 1,100 yards in each season. I'm not too sure on touchdowns. I don't have his stats pulled up right now. But DJ Moore is going to be DJ Moore. He's going to carry the load as much as he can. But if CMC and Robbie Anderson pull their weight like they usually do, that team's going to run like a well-oiled machine. So they do have a chance on winning a lot of games because of that.
He gets like 4 touchdowns a year.
Yeah, I mean, but look at his QBs.
Yeah, his QBs haven't been the best.
Yeah.
Fantasy football, draft DJ Moore.
Hey, man, he might have a breakout year. You never know. Baker Mayfield might be his guy that he's been waiting for.
I wouldn't draft him too high.
Oh, yeah. But he's a good wide receiver to have.
For sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And, okay, I want to get the truth out of you guys, all right? Let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Okay.
Jacoby Brissett starting week 1 for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Their worst nightmare.
Unless they trade for Garoppolo.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Thank
you.
Phase
1 is now complete. Phase 1 is now complete. Baker Mayfield is sent to the Carolina Panthers. Phase 2, realizing what the suspension is for Watson. Has to be a whole year.
I thought Phase 1 was trade him during the beginning of the offseason. But what happened to the real Phase 1?
The real Phase 1 got ruined by Jimmy Garoppolo because him and his agent decided that he needs to get surgery a week before free agency. So he not just screwed the Niners, but he also screwed himself. So congratulations, Garoppolo. You played yourself. Okay, Niners not taking that big of a hit. We lost maybe a 5th-round pick. Huh. All right, cool. Seahawks are potentially interested in Jimmy G. Not going to happen unless the 49ers do cut Jimmy Garoppolo. If the 49ers cut Jimmy Garoppolo, he could go anywhere he wants. That's the last thing that the Cleveland Browns want, because if Jimmy G does get cut, he gets to pick wherever he wants to go. He could go be the backup for Tampa Bay. I know it was false. I know it's reported false, but he could be the backup for Tampa Bay as long as that bank is there. He gets to choose where he wants to go. Jimmy G going to be the backup for Dallas. If he goes to Dallas, by week 6, he will be starting over Dak Prescott.
Oh, going back to PI podcast, little comment. Here's what I have to say about that. If Jimmy is cut, so we're apparently interested in him. If Jimmy G gets cut, the last place that he will go is to the Seattle Seahawks. Unless he's a very petty guy, I'm not too sure. AJ might know a little bit more about the guy, but from what I've heard, he's very humble. I don't think he will go to the Seahawks because we are not interested in signing a quarterback anymore this year. From what I've heard from our sources. Sorry, Reed? Supposedly, yeah. Just like everybody else says.
What I think of the situation, if there gets a bidding war and Seattle wants him, the Browns have way more cap space and they can definitely outbid anybody as far as signing somebody. But guys, he's not going to the Seahawks. He's not going to the Browns.
Oh man,
he's going to the Bucks, dude. He's going to back up for Tom Brady. And he's going to take on the mantle just like he was supposed to for the Patriots.
It was false reports.
Don't
give me that, Reef. Don't give me that.
Dude, it's a storybook ending, man.
I'd rather pay Jimmy G the $27 million than have him go back up Tom Brady again. He's worth more than that because, yes, he is a great guy on and off the field, a humble dude, and he is the best-looking quarterback in the NFL.
Whoa.
Hey, you think he'll wait behind Brady again for another 3-4 years if he plays behind him?
No, it's just a one-year thing.
Hey,
dude.
man, who knows?
Brady's just back for 1 year.
Brady could play till he's 50. You never know.
I don't think Jimmy G has 3 to 4 years left, man. I don't think so. He was in a very friendly system with Kyle Shanahan there, the Niners. Shanahan made him look good. It's true. Israel says Dallas versus Green Bay. Best game. Can't wait. That should be a fun game.
It'll be a good game.
I didn't know they played this year.
Mm-hmm.
What week is that? Do you know?
It's week like 13, 14. It's towards the back half of the season in Green Bay.
Ooh, when it's going to be snowing.
I think it's November. I think it's in November, so it has a chance to snow. It's Green
You
Bay.
guys realize that there's games on Christmas Eve?
There's games on Christmas Day now, dude.
Christmas Day, yeah.
Well, I know it's on Christmas Day, but there's also games on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they did that this past year.
No, there's no games on Eve. On day, yeah. But the only reason I know is because the Niners are playing Christmas Eve. I was like, oh, wow.
Ooh, poor
I
Niners.
know. That's cool. That's cool. I think I forgot who they're playing. I don't know. But yeah, we're getting a little bit off topic, okay? But I do want to look at their depth chart real quick because everyone's saying that they are stacked, which they are. Okay, they got Baker Mayfield, CMC, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Terrace Marshall Jr., which a lot of people do not know about, but he's a pretty solid player. And all they really need is a quarterback to maintain and not do too much. Just do the simple things, simple slant routes, simple bubble routes, simple checkdowns. And with that, I do believe they will have a successful season. Do I think they're going to make the playoffs? I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to come close, but I'm ready to piss off people again. They're going to have a very similar record as the Saints. Very similar. Yeah. A lot of Saints fans came after us this past week.
That
was fun.
Yeah, that was fun, man.
I don't think a single one replied to me though.
No, they're scared.
Kind of embarrassing.
Ooh, yeah, they should come reply on this one.
And we weren't even bashing on the Saints. We weren't. We're just reporting what we thought and what was probably going to be true because
just the pure stats here, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah. Also, on a side note for the Panthers depth chart, don't forget Mr. Chuba Hubbard. If CMC goes down again, Chuba's going to have another great year. So keep that in mind. So in my opinion, I agree with AJ. They are stacked. I don't think anybody can say that they aren't. They have plenty full of players, and now they have 2 starting quality QBs apparently. So we'll see what happens with them.
Hey man, these Panthers, they got a tough first half of the schedule.
Oof. It's like the Jets or what?
Not as hard as the Jets. I mean, week 1 you got the Browns. We already talked about that. Browns gonna beat them. Then they got the Giants. They'll win there. Saints. Even match, I think they'll win there. But then they got the Cardinals, then the Niners, then the Rams, then the Buccaneers.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's 4 games.
Sledgehammer hits, man.
They take a break. They play the Falcons. Then they go to Cincinnati. They play the Bengals. Then the Falcons again. Then they go to the Ravens, Broncos, Seattle, Steelers, Lions, Bucks, Saints.
That's decently hard, yeah.
It's an easy
I think it's pretty even out, yeah.
Yeah, they might be able to steal a few towards the end. I'm pretty sure they could possibly win against us if they have everything going for them. So I think they can do better than what everybody's giving them. So we'll see what happens.
Nestor says football on Christmas Eve and day is a gift for us. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, Merry Christmas, man.
I'm not a fan.
Even though it's like 105 degrees outside. Merry Christmas, dude.
Dude, it's 90 degrees in my house right now.
Israel, I am scared of the Jets. Jets. You should be. We talked about them earlier this offseason. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch them. I know Vince is a big Tua guy. Reed and I are kind of skeptical. I think I'm skeptical. Reed has no belief in Tua.
I mean, I think he's decent.
Okay. So then Reed and I are both skeptical. I think Tyreek Hill is going to have a huge role there, kind of like a dual-dog guy, that Deebo Samuel type of deal. And with the new offensive coordinator, they're going to be a very fun offense to watch. Not offensive coordinator, head coach, Mike McDaniels. Yeah. You're right there, Reed.
Yeah, I'm just tired from the weekend, dude.
I'm just worried about you. You look a little weak there.
Fun weekend, right, Reed?
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. We have some big stuff in the works, you guys. If you guys haven't yet, go check us out on TikTok, on NSP Football Talk. Find us on Twitter, Facebook. Hit that subscribe button. And until next time, you guys, keep on grinding.